Dr. Fauci, he is the director at the Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease here in the United States, Anthony Fauci. He's a very known person in the United States. He's the one who literally the whole America believes in him and whatever he says on vaccine, especially on the COVID-19. He is already proposing to develop a prototype vaccines for the next pandemic before it hits. Like, what next pandemic? We don't know what next pandemic is going to come. But his suggestion is like, guys, like, let's put dollars, let's put time, let's put effort to go out and develop at least like a prototype which works, or like 20 different prototypes with the 20 different families of virus. Not necessarily COVID-19, but like at least work with the coronavirus, something like that. Because that's what we had. Otherwise, like in the past, luckily or like in whatever way, we have spent time, energy, money on studying coronavirus. And we have tools to develop COVID vaccines. And then as soon as this sequence is got listed, scientists can able to get the vaccine developed in such a short span of time. But we are not going to get lucky with every other virus. So that means the world has to be get ready with the problem, thinking that if this may come, and spend time and get and go and solve the problem. Now you may ask, like, why I have to work on a problem which is not there? We are already doing that. In like the nuclear is another. I'm going to go to the same nuclear example. Every country developing nuclear missile, they want to. That's something dream. But are they using it? But having that brings you peace. Having that brings the stability to the country. Having that brings the stability in everyday life. The same thing here. Having those 20 vaccines brings the stability or the confidence in the future. The business can invest, or business can continue the business as they were used to be, because they know that, okay, scientists are there to protect me. Now, okay, this is one example. So whether this get applied only to the vaccine? No, there is millions of problems which we are going to face in the future. The future comes with its own problem. This is like UN listed out like 17 different sustainable, like you please see this word, sustainable development. And I'm not going to talk everything on here, like just you see this number 2 and number 3 and number 30. And I'm requesting you guys to go and see everything, but for this presentation, I'm just going to talk this 2, 3, and 13. Zero hunger. The world needs more food than what we did all these years, because we are more populated and everybody want to eat, but we are not producing. And the health, I don't want to talk about health, like you all know what does that mean, like what is important of health. And that's, I already talked more on the health side. So there is a lot of opportunity, and there is a lot of problem. Means you can name that there is a problem, but being an entrepreneur, people call the problem as an opportunity. So that's a two-word go to each other. You can solve those problems, or you see this as an opportunity to solve the problem and create new solutions, and be the one who created it, like be that professional. Like now you have a better future because you are not on the side of consuming, you are on the side of giving, producing. There's 99% of consumers and 1% of producers. Like you became a 1% of producer just sitting in the lab but doing the right research. And the climate change, that's going to bring with, like we are already facing that. That's going to bring a lot of problem to us. And who's going to solve it? Politicians? You and your fellow researchers can do more than those other people. I'm not, again, not disqualifying or disrespecting, but like I'm talking about who has the more power. You guys has the more power. Just on the food, like since we talked about like food, like just I want to show some number. Like by 2030, we will be 8.3 billion people in the world. And now, as of 2019, there are 2 billion people. You see that. Almost 25% of the current population, they are not having enough food. And like we are going just comparing with the 2030 population, and you project that we are already our trajectory or the direction where we are going on the food, like we are already in the wrong direction. There is a food insecurity, especially after even before COVID itself. There is a food insecurity, and after COVID, like it's a threat. There will be a conflict. There will be a conflict because of scarcity in the food. And people, you guys, either you come up with a biofertilizer, which is not as crazy as those chemicals, but still can increase the crops productivity. You guys can really solve or come up with a solution to avoid this direction. Or in the other way, don't solve the problem. Please help the world to not to face the problem. Even we need a solution for that. You can literally change the direction of what this world is going. And the health. And the health is in a big threat now. I'm not just talking about the COVID, like especially after COVID, like there are several deaths happened in this last 20 months because we couldn't able to provide the health care which we used to give. The hospitals are not operated, the doctors are not there. We didn't have the same system. So the regular checkups is not happening. You may already faced it in your family. You couldn't able to do the regular checkup which you used to do because there is the healthcare system is in trouble. And like the child immunization, we didn't, at least 70 countries, it's got interrupted. We didn't give all those like first 5 years, like we have to give for every 6 months or 12 months. There are some set of immunization which we have to give, but we didn't do that for last 20 months. What does that mean? Like, is that mean like, are these children are prone to disease now because we didn't do the immunization? Or how we are going to do that? How we are going to handle this in the future? Already the healthcare system, like whatever we did all around the world in healthcare, that went decades back. But if at all we have the mindset, okay, once things comes back to normal, we can bring all the things to all this healthcare system to normal. Good luck, guys. We are going to live in a new normal. We are not going back. We will be going forward, but we live in a different world. But we have to find a harmony in that new world. And who can do that is you guys. And animal future. This is something we work on. Like I really want you guys to spend time, especially with these studies, sustainable development goals. Please spend time and go and read all the other problem. What is the other opportunity? What is the next 10 years? What is going to happen? Next 20 years? What is going to happen? And what are the other problem it comes with this? Can I spend my another 5 years, another 3 years to solve such a problem, rather than solving the problem which I'm seeing as of today? The animal future. This is again with it's a different organization in UN. It's a environment program. They released this after the COVID because like COVID is a zoonotic disease. So they predicting there will be more to come. It is not just because the way we used to be, especially with the animals. It's also the way we are going to be with animals. The mass level agriculture or like mass level rising. And when the small farmers are going out and the big farmers are coming in, either in the dairy industry or the chicken industry or the poultry industry, there is a mass level manufacturing, but that's all going to throw new problem at us. The more we research, the more we know, the more the problem is going to come to us. And the more the problem we identify, the more we research. And like it's a huge document. Like it's in the last page, they have the 10 key policy recommendation for the governments to do in order to prevent this. Otherwise, like every government will be in trouble. That's what they're saying. And in that, like the seventh point is very important to this forum, biosecurity and control. They are all talking about identifying what drives this new disease. Who's going to do that? Is you guys going to do that? And proper accounting of those, how to prevent this, how to control this, and develop a protocol. And so you guys going to not only solve, you guys going to say this is how you are, the world has to live. If you are not going to live in this way, then we are all in trouble. That's what you guys going to propose. You have such a power. And this is a very, very latest. This came last week. I couldn't able to go with all the pages, but like there are summaries, there are different materials which helps you to understand what is really happening in the climate change. This is already in news, if at all you are following the news. We are in a big problem, guys. We are in really, really a big problem. And especially the recent changes in the climate, like it's a lot. I am from Tanjavur, especially Patukotte. We are in the Delta region. And from there, I'm here living in California. I literally see two extremes. Tanjavur, like we had a Kaja cyclone. And here we have a extreme heat. Like you won't believe this guy. Like even though I did my studies in Chennai, this heat is like dry, literally dry heat, extreme heat. And we are already in drought here. Like there is, it is already maybe more than 2 years, 3 years. I never saw a rain day. We never had a rainy day here. And the water is going down. I'm talking about California. I'm talking about Silicon Valley. The water quality is not good. Like we are getting delivered like this tanni can is coming to our home. And this is one of the biggest economy, even in the United States. California is one of the powerful state. But it is not about who you are. It is not about what power you have, but the environment or the nature is going to react to you because you did something, but we need help. And I literally had this issue, fire weather. Like there is a wildfire happening in California every year. Every year we are having a wildfire. We literally see a smoke on the sky. There are days where we have to close the door and live inside. This is all happening. This is not the California 10 years back, which I know. And the same thing. That's not the Tanjavur which I saw. Like I never saw such a cyclone. So these are all the two extremes. Guys, like we have too many problems in front of us. And this all the problem which is going to be bigger in the future. And we need solutions. Yes, what is this extreme heat? Like is it going to introduce any new kind of disease, any new kind of problem, or even the fire, like smoke? I know like at least 20 different families who moved away from California because of this. Not because the fire came to their home, but because they have an allergy. They cannot live here. When on the fire season, like they get the asthma is getting worse. So they moved out of the state. So is there a solution for that? So what my ask here is to this community, you are the most powerful people in the world as of today. Scientists and researchers, especially the people who are working in life science, biotechnologists, you have more power than anyone. And especially the students and the freshers in this field, or even like some of them, hey, I didn't choose the biotechnologist. My dad and my mom pushed into this. I ended up in choosing it. Even if you doubt this field, you are in the right field or in the right professional. You can save us. Generally, everyone says that like, hey, we all want to build a better world so we can leave a better world to our younger generation. I think we didn't leave a better world to you guys. Especially students, you have more responsibility. We didn't leave you a better world. Like we are leaving you a world with a lot of problems going to come. But you can solve. We believe in you. you have a fresh mind. That's what like Bennett says, like all the big companies hiring freshers, hiring fresh out of people, like they need people who don't used to think in the way what the others are already in that company thinking. And that's that because I love the Bennett presentation. He says that the world needs you. You have to step up to fill the gap and go and help the world. Like if at all you are going out, like there's one of the question I think somebody asked, like what if I go out, like in India, how the Indian scenario is different. Like no guys, like you are not an Indian, you are not an American, you are a global citizen. You have to talk, you have to propose the solution. Don't hold back yourself. If you have an idea to solve a problem, no matter how young you are, as long as you have the willpower, as long as you have the time and interest, the money comes later. You can help us. You can help us. Means like you can choose to be a 10 best young Indian entrepreneur. Whether you can be out of 10, but I strongly believe that, because that's what we do in Ariviya, in my company. We strongly believe in science, and this is happening. Like we did products using science, and guys, there are meetings which we have with the international companies, and it is not even Patukotte. There is a small village next to Patukotte called Mandangadu. People taking meeting, like my CTO and my executive vice president, they take meetings from Mandangadu, a village near to Patukotte, and they are talking to someone in Paris and in London and in Boston here in the United States and in San Francisco, me sitting here. Because we are global citizens, because the problem which is coming to us is not having borders. It is not seeing whether you are an American or an Indian or a European. There is no border. Like COVID is the best example. We are going to see you as a human. And we are in trouble. You are the global citizen. You are all educated. And you have the power to solve the problem. With that, like, thanks. And I am opening up for any questions. Please. If I know an answer, I will answer. If I don't, I will honestly say I don't have an answer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, I have to thank you. This is a midnight in the US. Okay, it's a midnight around 1 o'clock. It is very difficult to maintain the energy in the midnight. It is really appreciable, and I'm very happy to see that. First of all, thank you, sir. Second thing, you just sparkling the scope and opportunities to the biotechnologies. That is very, very clear, and I'm very happy that. And third thing, your vision is very clearly established here. It's not easy. You make your very clear data, and you get your vision with this data is very clear. We are very clear with your vision. I'm also have some. Get some thing from your speaker. This is my mind have some changes really before I enter into the talk, and now I have some changes in my mind to do something other things like what you shows in your slides. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Really beautiful one thing. Okay, now the section is open to the audience. Audience who are like to ask question, kindly shoot your question to Engineer Swaminathan. Sir, Dean sir, you can ask your question, sir.
Okay. Hello, sir. Good night. It's a very late evening today, and we are happy that you are presenting to all the young minds. It is going to be in YouTube, so anytime anyone can see the video and also to get inspired. So the first question which I like to, so you have said overall it's very good, like for youngsters, like already Bennett has presented like how to come with out of boxing creativity. Is it any process they need to pass, because they have a concern? Yeah, they have a no, I know only this much, or something like I know this only this much. So what are the things they need to be trained? Like what are the things whether they need to expose themselves? Could you tell something like that? In that?
Yeah, I think you had the answer in your question itself, Dr. Kumaran. It's expose. That's it. Like you have to expose. Like you can learn swimming only by getting into the water. Like no matter how many years or how many time you practice in the shore, like, but you cannot really do until you dive in. But like the one thing I really advise, or like, more than advise, I recommend, which I follow, you should not fear to fail. You should not fear to fail. Like failure is very, very common. Like I would recommend everyone in the world to read this Wings of Fire, Agni. If you really look up, like there are a lot of people read that book, saying Abdul Kalam, the most successful person, scientist, president. But when you really read that book, almost like 60 to 70% of the book, it's all talks about his failures. Like I tried this, that failed, this failed, for several reasons, not necessarily from him, but like he just kept continuing. At one point of time, it all came together. Man, there's a huge project in front of him where he didn't spend time. He just used all those learnings, whatever in that 20 years, and he made that success. I worked in Universal Studio in Hollywood. One of the basic things they say, the difference between a successful actor, I'm talking about Hollywood, like this applies every other word or every other profession. The difference between the successful actor and the one who are not unsuccessful is not the talent. It's not what you know. It is not like you are more talented than others. The only difference is the guy who is successful, he showed up every morning and went out and tried auditioning. Like auditioning is like just go out to the studio by studio and say that, hey, I want to act or I want to do this. Even though he might be having less talent, but like he just went every other day. The persistence in pursuitness. Like you have to pursue your dream and you have to have the persistence in the dream. I didn't say this, I heard it and I'm following it. And thus I would recommend every other people. As long as you have the bigger goal, the money is a byproduct. And money, and if at all that goal is really bigger, like as Bennett says, like it is not copying a business, like you're really doing something. Entrepreneur means creating something new, which is not there. If you do such a big dream where nobody walked on that road or nobody walked on that path, then I think you are aiming something a bigger goal. But if you make it there, like we all be a millionaire or maybe a billionaire. But like if you just follow other path, like it is all like you are walking on the road, you don't have any pain because the road is already paved. You're just walking. But that road always knows there is a destination, that's where you will get. There is no way you can get anything other than that. But if you are walking in a mountain which nobody walks, definitely you are going to face all the problem, nails and thorns, because nobody walked on that. Because you are the first person walking on it. So that's what exposing yourself. And be ready for those nails and thorns. Don't cry. Don't say that like, oh man, I chose the wrong profession. No, because you chose the profession which nobody tried. And especially in the research, you are choosing something which nobody tried. And when you are reaching that high in that mountain, you are the one person who are like far higher, far taller than all those people who just followed the road.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any others like to ask question? Sir, I have one question, sir.
Go ahead.
Say the opportunities and status of Silicon Valley, sir. Because here, a number of persons that Silicon Valley is a dream here. You know that. But Silicon Valley is a dream here. So what is the status in Silicon Valley and the opportunities for life science people?
Very good question, Purushottam. Like that is something, as I said to Kumaran, the reason why I moved here is to expose myself. Yes, as I also had the same dream. I moved here for the same purpose. But the reality here is after moving here, I came to know that the opportunity is everywhere. It's not just in Silicon Valley. Yes, there is a lot of opportunity here. No questions on that. Like every other big company, starting from Apple or Facebook or like even in the biotechnology, Amgen and Gilead, like they are all here. But why? It is not like, is it like once everybody comes here, they get a special knowledge? No. The one thing what I see in the Silicon Valley is openness. Openness to say, yes, I'm trying this. This is what I'm working on. And after 2 years, you see that guy will say, you know what, I failed on that, man. It didn't work it out. I lost my money. I lost all my work. And they're ready to fail. And they're ready to again get up. And investors love to invest in a guy who failed more, because they know their money is guaranteed, because these guys know how to, I mean, like he knows the pain of failure and he can avoid the failure. So definitely there is a more opportunity. I would recommend people to visit here, at least be here for 2 months, go out and do see the people, talk to the people. Every other people here have a dream. As in Hollywood, every other guy will say, I'm working in a movie, I'm trying to act in a movie. Here, every other guy will say, like, I am solving this problem, I'm having that startup idea. That is actually, that brings a energy to you. But that is exactly the reason why I thanked Aruna, the CEO of TBI, Technology Business Incubator. That's because that's the ecosystem which you are creating there. And especially with a conference like this, that is exactly what you are creating. You're creating opportunities. So definitely, yes, there is a more opportunity, because people with a likely minded, when I say likely minded, people who love to try and fail, they are here. So maybe that is the one reason. And especially for the biotechnologists, even in the United States, there's a website called BioSpace. They list out all the top places in the United States for biotechnology. The number 1 is Boston, which is on the other side. And the number 2 is Silicon Valley. So Silicon Valley is already in the technology side, like the mobile or web application, but they are also number in the top 3 in biotechnology. So definitely having a biotechnology, if you are a biotechnology startup, having a presence here will give you an advantage. But that doesn't mean that like you cannot do whatever you want to do from wherever you are. We all become global citizen, and especially after the COVID-19, it's totally acceptable. As I said, like people from Mannangadu, like in a small village near Pattukotte, they are working with internationally. So opportunity is everywhere. Pretty sure. So you don't need to really tie that up to the Silicon Valley.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. If anyone wants to,
that's what happened. Pretty sure. Like I work with my co-founders is Dr. Shivakumar, and another one is like he's a PhD, and another one is Dr. Chinnathurai. He is a veterinarian, but people address me doctor, but I'm not really a doctor. I'm just a normal guy with the entrepreneur dream. That's it.
Super, sir. Anyone want to ask question?
Hello, sir.
Okay, Mr. Mutesh, you can ask your question.
Sir, myself, I'm Mutish, and I'm currently pursuing my biotechnology first year. And then I have lots of idea in biotechnology, sir, but I don't know how to explore myself. What are the ways I have in my career? Because I have lots of idea, and I don't have a proper guidance which I can explore myself in a correct way. What the interest I have. So can you suggest to this young generation, which is the biotechnologists pursuing their degree, how can they explore their dream field in biotechnologies here?
Very good question, and especially for the starters, when you say like you have a lot of idea, that's a good start. That's a really good start. there is a process for that in industry called mind mapping, MIND-MAPPING, mind mapping. So all you have to do is just go and log all your ideas, and the key thing which you have to look on any idea is whether your idea really works. And I'm not, like, don't get into the technical stuff, whether you can able to create it or not, whether it is technically possible. No, I'm not talking about that. Whether it's really solving somebody's problem, or is it really anybody can buy it, or anybody can take your money out of their pocket and give to you, so you help them to solve their need or expected need. So there is a process called, it is not market analysis, it is validating your idea. Go and talk to people. Say that, like, if at all I have the product, you don't, or if at all I build this, whether you buy it. This is exactly, maybe Bennett knows that, like, in startup weekend culture, in startup culture, that's what they do. Even the big companies like Amazon, that's what they do. The first thing they do is they print the flyer, pamphlet. It's like people build product and later they print the flyer to sell the product. Instead of that, you can print the flyer itself and go and try to make a sale. Or try to say, this is what I had, like, do you want to use it, or do you want to partner with me? Do you want to work with me? If somebody out of 10 different ideas, 3 of them is getting sold, now you are narrowing down to 3. Instead of lot of ideas, you might be saying that I have 3 ideas. So then reverse back. So you started with a flyer which says that the product is ready for anybody to use. But out of 10, only 3 got success. Out of 10 different products, only 10 different ideas, only 3 got selected. From there, you narrow down, like, whether it is technically possible, if somebody will fund me. The reason why you have to look for the external fund, but that is a validation. Even if you are a multimillionaire, you have several crores in your hand, you don't want to put your own money. See whether somebody can put the money for your idea, because they're not going to put the money for your faith. They're going to put the money for the idea. If somebody putting the money on your idea, that means your idea is validated. So, so you have to come reverse. Then you narrow down to 2 ideas or 1, then work on that. So this is the very simple or basic approach, but there are different scientific approach to that also.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your answers, sir.
Thank you.
If any others wanted to ask question? Okay, thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Engineer. I want to ask. Okay, I want to ask a number of questions, but it's too late to you, so I'm not disturb you more in this program. I ask you separately in that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for these wonderful presentations and your presence in BioYojana 2021 organized by Tango R&D Solutions. It's really amazing. I'm very thankful to you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Swamy sir, thank you very much. Brukshidaman, just also just few seconds.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Swaminathan sir, thank you very much for joining in the midnight, and we are very happy that definitely it is going to motivate our youngsters, and it is going to be like permanently in the YouTube and in this company. So they'll be watching, and you know that is like, people should not think, since I'm graduated, I have a degree with me, so I should get a job only because of this. So there are more additional skills and creativity and out-of-box thinking, innovation should be there, and solve that problem in the society problem, not somewhere in this region first, so or in their house first. Then they should somehow, I heard somewhere, one mother cleared her son the degree because he could not solve this normal some appliance in home. So why do you have some electrical engineering degree without you cannot solve? So just like that. So if that is sometime it happens. So it's a sad story. Theoretically, they may be strong or they have information, but they don't know how to build it because the various reasons in the society. So thank you very much for all this.
Thank you, Kumar. Thank you very much. It's a wonderful night for me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, Soundarya, you can give the vote of thanks to Engineer Swamy, sir.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your vast experience with us. Your presentation is giving a new perspective to young researchers about the biotechnology and how to do a research in our field. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.